Okay, so I decided to actually go ahead and do a mic review of this Audio Technica AT2035. Now, the only reason I'm doing this is because, well, I mean, I know I'm a bit late, first of all, because this has been out for a while, but a lot of YouTubers and people use the Audio Technica AT20, but this is the Audio Technica AT2035, so this is the more newer, updated version, and not sure when it came out, but all of my videos you've been watching have been with this mic, and the only reason I'm deciding to do a review on it now is in case if any of you wanted to watch it. I know there's other reviews out there, but you can get your point of view from someone who has experienced using this mic for quite some time now. I'd say so many months, probably even close to a year, if not a year. Now in the background there is some Fortnite gameplay which has not been up. Do you mind, phone? Yes, my phone has the deodorant Old Spice notification text sound to leave me alone. Now in the background you're watching some Fortnite gameplay, obviously, in case you couldn't tell, and if you're not a gamer, then there you go, there's some information. But basically this is the review of the mic 1 year later. Now right now currently I am using a pop filter, which this is the first time I've ever actually used it. The only reason being is I'm also going to show you the difference between having a pop filter and not having a pop filter. This mic, first of all, is you don't have to use a pop filter for it, but I am in this video, and I'm probably going to start using it a little bit more, only because I realized something recently, and I know that a lot of microphones have that, you know, if you've heard about microphones and if you know about microphones, they have this pop sound whenever you pronounce your P's. But I'm going to show you the difference. So this is with the pop filter and the P sound, well, also with S's, but this is the P sound with the pop filter. And then this is without the pop filter. Now with this microphone, unless you intentionally get up it close to the mic and make the P sound, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. If you don't pay attention to it, like I haven't been, it's not that big of a deal, because this microphone is so good it can actually handle the P sound. And when I say P sound, I don't mean you taking a piss. But if you notice, I know it kind of sounds like it, but I'm not changing the way how I sound out my P's. Because if you notice, with the pop filter, it has more of a kind of sound, less than a popping P sound, I guess, is a good way to explain it. Now with the S's, that's not really much different. I've been testing it, and S's are kind of the same with and without pop filter. So if you listen, S, 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 that was with the pop filter. This is without. S, 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 S. Now you might be able to tell a difference, or maybe there was a difference, just happened to be this one time that I will realize back in the recording when I edit this later. But when I did this before, there was no difference between with and without the pop filter in S's. Another thing is with the pop filter, it does make it it's very hard to tell, especially if you're normally speaking, but it does make it somewhat tiny bit quieter. Not really if you're normally speaking, it's always going to be the same volume, but if you're kind of like getting up close and whispering into it, it does make it a bit quieter, because I noticed when I was messing around with it yesterday, I tried whispering something into it without the pop filter, and you could pretty much understand what I was saying. With the pop filter, it's like it cut my voice kind of off. Now enough about the pop filter. Now this microphone is an XLR mic, and the best way to explain it is it's one of the best mics out there. Pretty much, maybe not all, but a lot of people and YouTubers use it. Song musicians and people like them use it. XLR mic isn't a specific type of microphone. It's more of a different type of input, kind of like a USB headphone jack, or like just a jack in headphones, kind of like that. But this is a much better kind. Now this microphone costs about $150 on Amazon. Now right now you won't be able to hear it, but this microphone is pretty good, and my computer isn't really that loud. It kind of is for being a basic computer, because it's not no professional, real good gaming type of computer. It can't even handle games. It's just a basic school's Windows 7 computer that I upgraded to Windows 10, so it's not the greatest, but it is still fairly quiet. And you don't really hear it unless you focus and pay attention to it, and it's still not that loud. But this microphone being so good, it will pick up the sound of my PC. You won't be able to hear it in this video because I took out the noise in editing. Now that won't make a difference on my voice. My voice will always sound the same with or without the background noise. It's not like I'm doing anything to mess up the audio. My voice is always going to be the same. It's going to be always as clear. I just took out the background noise pretty much. Now this microphone does not come with a stand. You're going to have to buy a stand arm thing separately to go with it, which is an average around 20 bucks if you want a real good one, like the one that all people use pretty much, I guess, not a cheapy one. So a good, pretty decent, really good one that lasts you for a long time is around 20 bucks. And I will link pretty much all the stuff in the description of this video. And the pop filter does indeed come with the microphone, so you don't have to worry about buying a separate one of that. But this microphone is really good with or without pop filters, so just thought I'd put that in as a little side note. And this mic has always been real good to me, no matter what audio device program I may be using. Like right now I'm using Audacity to record my voice. The mic itself is always the thing that makes it sound good. So sometimes you probably won't be able to tell because this mic is just the main thing that makes it sound good. But different audio programs do also make a difference in your voice and how good your microphone is. But this one has been pretty good out of all the programs I've used, out of OBS and even Elgato. Now in order to use this microphone or pretty much any XLR microphone, you will need a USB recording interface. Well, I'm not sure if it has to be USB recording interface, but it has to be a recording interface nonetheless. And technically not all XLR mics have to, because my friend has one that's an XLR2 USB that he uses for PlayStation and computer, but those ones aren't nearly as good and they are more of the cheapy ones. And the one he has, you can't hear him or understand a word he is saying unless he's pretty much eating the mic. Now you can get a cheapy recording interface, but I'm not sure if that makes a difference in your voice and how good your microphone will sound. Now the ones that a lot of YouTubers use, I'm sorry if I keep comparing these things to YouTubers and other people, but I guess that's just the best way to explain a lot of things. Now the ones that a lot of YouTubers and other people use are known as the Scarlett. Now there's different generations and different types of Scarlett. There's the main one that everyone uses, the Scarlett 2i2. There's also the Scarlett 2i4, which I believe is the newer one, and then there's also usually first and second generation. Now I have a cheaper one because at the time I didn't have the money to buy a more advanced one, because I think the better ones like 2i2s are around, I think, $200 to $250, I believe. I have the $100 one, which is the Scarlett Solo. So some of the best USB recording interfaces you can get are some of the Scarletts, and you cannot use your XLR microphone without one of these unless it's a XLR2 USB. So basically, overall, if you want to get the exact same mic with the exact same Scarlett that I have, it will cost you about $250 overall, unless you can find one cheaper or even used elsewhere. But even a year later, I would definitely say that this mic is definitely worth its money. And if there's anything you feel that I left out during this video, feel free to comment down below. I love it. I sound like a real professional reviewer. There's always that one thing I always feel like I'm forgetting though. But like I said, if there is, let me know down in the comments if there is something else you would like to know about this microphone, or some of the programs you can use. I'm very dumb-tarded in case you couldn't tell. Okay, bye.